C matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey. We got three. Three down. Here we go. Black 80.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he powers his way up past the 30. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First two games in the playoffs were great, but, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste, gives him fuel for the next season, though, because, remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Here we go with Jamal Charles. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. $15 yards there on the catch and run. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Smith. His throw caught right around the 6.
There are certain words that sometimes we overuse, but there's one that's really welcome on a player's resume, and that's the word breakout. And I thought Travis Kelce was one of the breakout stars of 2016 in the NFL. What a season he had with Kansas City.
Over 1,100 yards. Now, to put that into perspective with everybody else that was catching the football for them, the next closest had 593 for the Chiefs. So, breakout year indeed.
And for me, it's how he did it, because he did it in a variety of ways. Whether he's an inline tight end, a guy who could split out and really become a wide receiver, and then when he caught the ball, he ran like he was a running back.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Second and goal. Defense digging in again here. On the run, it's Charles. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. 3rd and long, it's Smith. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And not great starting field position here for the offense.
Here we go.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. The 40, the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 97 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? The first down carry here for Charles. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And a look at this offensive unit now, and you see who we have highlighted, partner.
Jamal Charles, one of the most exciting, productive running backs in the NFL.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Lawrence Timmons comes from a long line of productive Florida State players. And when I say productive, I usually mean spectacular.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Smith. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. On 1st down, Smith flushed out right. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. And now the offense will look to respond after the sack. On 2nd down, Jamal Charles. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time.
And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll come out in the pistol. Here we go on 4th. Smith. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And this defense will take over right at midfield. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Call it a gain of a couple there, as it'll leave him with a 2nd and just 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
3 down.
They come up with 1 running back. That's Bell. And they'll give it to him here. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Fresh set of downs here. They come out here in the eye. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now for him, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers, Charles. What did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed at tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers as well. So Big Ben had more targets to throw it to. That should help Antonio Brown going forward in 2017, because he'll still be the primary guy. But when you get help, well, you can make bigger plays downfield.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Again, it's Bell. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And it's 3rd and short.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
The line of scrimmage is the 3 as they look to cash in on 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Derek Johnson able to get outside the numbers and drop in for a loss of a yard. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline. It's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less
to become
culture
the Rams.
shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
That one good for 15 and a first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. Can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, Are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure that just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now is really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well. And every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. The gun, Smith. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And fourth down coming up. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They are going for it. It's Smith. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. They'll get the football here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. First chance for the backup here to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on third down. And the back goes into motion. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think, man, the fullback's probably going to get the ball. But when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. He finds Coates complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Strong right. Strong right. Watch the run. Watch the run. Like 80.
The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's first and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be third and goal.
Brandon, now we find out what their definition of commitment is. They've run it on the first 2 plays. Do they come back and do it again? They're that much closer to getting into the end zone.
Yeah, inching closer and really knocking on the door now. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on third and goal from the 1. Roethlisberger, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. And Roethlisberger taking it in. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
Partner, that was simply an example of getting low, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And for the quarterback, so they get low the line. They did their job. Is the quarterback's job just to find a crease and dive?
Find a crease and just get in there. And ordinarily, you start low yourself, get low behind that offensive line. But sometimes they do such a great job, you can almost fall forward and find the crease for a touchdown.
Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take...
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on second down. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. On second down, here's Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 84 yards. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Roethlisberger will throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 20 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Steelers a first down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They come out here in the eye. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Man open left side is Brown. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And not what they want to see here. He's still down on the field. Obviously such an important part of their... passing game, and the training staff, they're going to have to attend to it. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. He's going to get the football. And some space here. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing. Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goal post. That's right.
Before you drop the ball. There you go.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
On 1st and 10, Smith. His throw incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Give them 18 on that one. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first. And
now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Uses the stiff arm. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Jamal Charles, 28 yards. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Here's Smith looking to throw. And he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And this will probably be the last play they can squeeze in here before the 2-minute warning.
Defense always has to be careful in this situation. A lot of teams like to take a shot.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 180.
They'll go again with Bell. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, but it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Roethlisberger to throw. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. After the interception, here's Smith. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Back to throw, Smith. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's a cheat.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of coaches do it anyway, and it seems like cosmetics to us.
Does it just send a message you're not quitting?
Send a message that you're not quitting. Let your team know you're going to battle all the way, and you're always hoping for that ultimate miracle that something will happen, you'll pick up the ball and score, and you'll have a chance one more time and maybe on an onside kick, but not likely.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They come out here in the I. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So 2nd and 10 here.
Oh, here we go. Oh. Set. Black 20. Black 56.
Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it.
Trying to break chains. Everybody needs a